Hello everybody and welcome back to New Age Championship. It is myself, Zabi, and we are back with another round, and it is round 10 here at the US Grand Prix at COTA, and this is about to be a brilliant one. So update from the previous round, as I was saying at the end of it, that I personally think that Fino would get the win and that victory from Tyron would be pulled away, and it was indeed the case, and that's exactly what happened. And then Fino did get that victory. So hopefully this time around you should be seeing the stream on my Twitch and YouTube channel as well. So welcome everyone from wherever part of the world and whatever platform you're joining us from. So it's round 10 here at the US Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we don't have the updated championship standings. It wasn't provided out there. I think something's happened at the game. It hasn't, so not sure what is going on. Not sure whether my own audio is slightly less, or because I hear the game way less than I should actually. Yep, slightly increase this. Should be okay now. I hope it's gonna be okay and fine. So you should hear my mic, my own audio that I'm talking about, and then the game's audio should be fine and okay. Basically, it's all about OBS, of how much audio it has. Everyone's on the outlaps, so let's just test that out in terms of on the stream of how much audio there is. So we'll be back. I'll just test everything out and then be back with it. Alright, it looks slightly low maybe, but it's fine. I don't think it's a big of an issue. You could let me know in the comments if there is, but I don't think if there is any bigger of it, as many drivers are already out on flying laps. And is it going to be Brando be the first one? Yes, he will be, but he's just started his lap around, so it's not that he'll be flying around or will be coming to an end. He'll not be coming to an end just yet, so it's going to be interesting. But I think now many drivers have started their flying laps. There's a Red Bull of Fino, and he's won. Actually, it would have been a record had Tyron won. 7 wins in a season, never happened before at New Age Championship. So tonight could be the night for Tyron to do that, or is it going to be Fino who's going to take 4th victory of the season for himself? It'll be an interesting thing to say the least, and definitely an answer will be looking for of a question. Meanwhile, there is a Williams on a flying lap, and it has to be Tyron, your championship leader at the moment, over the finish line. Will be the first driver to go over the line. 1:31.967. What about his teammate, who I think, in fact, he's got no teammate tonight, so there is a blue car at least, not sure who it is, and many cars around. Fino goes P2 at the moment. Very slow lap time in terms of overall against everyone else. 1:46 from Zidos. That's pretty slow. Many other drivers will be over the line as well. Romero goes P4. Redu goes P3. A brilliant lap from him as well. What about his teammate Checo over the finish line? That is in fact him just starting his lap. So a couple of drivers coming over the line. Is it going to be Mido? Is it going to be Brando? It will be Brando around the finish line now. And over the line comes, and what a lap time from Tyron there. You would have thought, okay, 31.9, but what a lap. And actually there's a special livery for Kick Sao, but I might have missed something, because unfortunately I've missed a couple of real-life Formula 1 races, so maybe this was somewhat of a special livery on some of the occasions. I would have missed out. So Brando, 32.8, still nearly almost 9/10 slower than Tyron, so that has to be the case. We know we're looking up after a Aston Martin driver. It has to be Archie. Goes P4, 33.9 from Archie. What about the Red Bull of DJ? Over the line, puts up slowest time of the session. Freddy without a time as well. Around the final corner he comes, and that is going to be P8, 8th fastest from him. Okay, Tyron does have a teammate with the dog, but he's not yet completed a lap. Tyron it is. He should be coming into the pit lane. What about What about Fino, who will be right behind him, comes into the pit lane as well. So interesting. Now just at the start, very quick, but the drivers are all going after it and not really waiting for anything at all. Obviously 18 minutes of qualifying, then it'll be 28 laps of racing, I think. And we're looking after a Alpine driver who's going to be coming over the line very slow, 40.8, possibly the slowest time of the session so far. Meanwhile, one Haas driver doesn't put out time, the other one puts a invalidated lap as well. So drivers, some of them are heading into the pits, some of them have still stayed out. Meanwhile, pretty much everyone, I think, around will be coming into the pits. Brando does come into the pits as well. What about Romero in the other Alpine? He stays out, so he wants to go on and continue around for another lap. Pretty much just, go around for another lap. Pretty much just do an out lap and, not an out lap basically, a prep lap and then just go again. What about D's around there? That is nice. I mean, a couple of special liveries from these Formula 1 teams as D's over the line, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That has to be the slowest time ever I've seen around COTA, but I guess it's just on a prep lap, so definitely that will not be counting, or it won't be meaning anything at all. Meanwhile, Archie on an invalidated lap, so rather would be looking to start another one. What about DJ on a set of hard compound tires? Doing his first runs, comes into the pit lane. So might have not chosen the softer compound for the weekend. Might have chosen the medium compound, or basically the setting, which basically gives you a hard tire in qualifying. So definitely would have chosen that for that first run. Obviously, I mean, the first run not as important as others, so would have rather just wanted to let it go, and then later on do a lap. It's going to be very good. Meanwhile, one man who is on a mission to do a lap that is going to be very good. Around the final corner comes Devin. Does he get the better exit to get himself a decent lap time? Not really. He does push himself ahead of his teammate in P10, but that might not be one of the fastest times around there. That's for sure. Meanwhile, two Haas teammates head into the pits as well, along with the Mercedes of Checo. Meanwhile, his teammate Romero was improving by over 7/10, which would have been in the middle sector, but has invalidated his lap. Definitely not an easy circuit to nail, especially the first sector, the S section, which is pretty difficult in terms of trying to keep the car within the track limits, within the white lines, because it doesn't really go your way. What about D's, though? Is it going to be his way around the finish line now? Yes, it does. It's going to push up and move up to P4, 133.641. Pretty close between D's and Checo there. 133.700 from Raichu, 133.671. He's driving for RB tonight on sugar-free Red Bull. I'm unsure if he's moved teams or he was a reserve driver last time out, so which would have been the reason him having to put a lap time. What about Quarter Reaps over the line? 134.5, at least pushes himself into P10. 18 drivers, many drivers there are, obviously, so that's got to be fun. So far, remember, Tyron's time hasn't been beaten at all. He leads this so far. He's back out on track to do another run, but will it be enough? We're about to find out. What about Archie, the man, and he's invalidated? And that definitely explains that it is difficult, and it is absolutely difficult to do a lap and keep it well validated. Obviously, Tyron maybe on an out lap would have simply wanted to take corners fast. That would have been the reason he's invalidated. It's important to tell that because I just talked about invalidated laps. I'm not sure whether what's exactly went wrong, because usually I'm used to one thing might have happened, which would be my own PC settings would have slightly, and maybe, but no, actually they are at where they should be. So I've still slightly increased the game sound. Not sure whether I should have done that or not, but I just myself usually hear the game sound pretty nice and easy, but this time around I am it's very less than well, basically I streamed 2 streams last night, so it's definitely slightly different, but obviously it's fine. I think let's get into it then. I don't think we have any chat, at least not in the main live. We don't. Brilliant. Hopefully the others watching on other platforms will be enjoying this one as well. So short, if you're just joining us, we're live for a New Age Championship. Round 10 of the season. As we're around here, Tyron, the man on pole so far, currently leads the championship to himself. I might actually need to slightly lower the game volume again, as I said. So we're going to slightly lower it, not too much, but slightly lower it. You know, the mic, basically, when I'm probably, you know, will-to-will actions on, I'm screaming, it's going to be nice, but if I'm slowly talking or, you know, simply discussing something, possibly the game audio would be better than my audio. So it is only right that we have slightly more mic audio than the game audio, but obviously it doesn't have to be too bad as well, right? If I'm, you know, way too much, you know, screaming or probably, you know, be the way that I'm supposed to be during battles around. So we have to keep it balanced. Meanwhile, one man who will need this balanced lap around, it is gonna be Michael. He's almost a second down on Tyrone, but you never know how much of an improvement does he find in the middle sector. He doesn't find anything at all, a 10th down. So he's not improving at all, and pretty much drivers are in for their second stint, you'd say. For 3 stints you would have, you know, middle stint of qualifying, 6.5 minutes still remain. So we'd see drivers do laps, come out right now, do laps, and then go back in and then come out again for the final round. There will be some who just come out right now and then will be, there will be some who stay in right now and then just come in for the final one. How good is he going to be? Does improve slightly, 300ths of a second, 34 milliseconds. He finds an improvement by. What about the two Mercedes duo? Mido has invalidated P6 for him so far. Meanwhile, his teammate is only 1,000th of a second better than him. Can he push himself past Diz or Finu over the finish line? Yes, he can push himself past Diz and goes P4. Fino down in there in P3, 133.1 him. Not too, actually that is slightly faster, but at least decent job from them there. Meanwhile, what about DJ over the line? 135 to that lap time would eventually put him nowhere near, maybe just faster than Romero, possibly just near Devon or just faster than him, but he's invalidated that one as well, so definitely he'll need to go around one more time, and Zedos has invalidated as well, so that is not really the time the two Haas drivers were looking. Cardace and Zedos are not haven't got a time on board. The only two teammates, the Haas duo, haven't got a time on board. Meanwhile, D's has slowed down, maybe to let the car past. Meanwhile, Raichu himself is slowing down. D's is maybe not now just realizing that and will be letting him get past him. Nice and easy. Those numbers on the Ferrari are actually but from the back in on the 2018 car livery. Those are a nice little addition to it. What about the other RB of EDR? They in the pit lane, Ian. So that's going to be interesting, as we don't see Special tonight, so that is interesting, which is Oliver, of course. We don't see him racing here around tonight at the moment, as Raichu is going to let others get past. Meanwhile, one man who will be getting past and starting the lap will be Tyrone. Just about right now, he hasn't been beaten by anyone around, and he's about to do a lap time which nobody even dares to touch so far. Is it going to be Devon coming over the line to improve? Yes, he will improve by a second and goes to P10. Meanwhile, his teammate Romero in P15 is coming around the final sector as well. Meanwhile, the Red Bull of DJ doesn't go nowhere, does find an improvement, but not enough to push himself, even move a little bit, and he's invalidated it. As Romero, he was just coming around the final corner there on the exit of the one before, and that is going to be problems for him. What about Zordez? He's looking for improvements, and he's invalidated as well. Same exact space, same exact place between Romero and Zedos. Both of them have invalidated their laps, and that explains how difficult and how hard it is to really race around here, and they've all done that in qualifying. Oh, that is interesting then, as we are just going to be looking at others around as well. Right, Raichu should be on a flying lap, but I don't think so. He'll be putting a lap time to come back at the moment, 33.7 from him. But I think he let others get past, so that would have been possibly the reason that would have seen everyone around. So Raichu, then two Williams, and one of them is going to be Tyrone, the man over the line. He's going to improve even further by 2 whole more tens, as his his mission to take another pole position is really on. 131.758, and now officially this driver in second place is more than a second down on Tyron, and that is absolutely epic lap time from Tyron so far. Meanwhile, the Alpine of Devon has pushed himself far up the order, 34.1, P10 for him. Right, there's a McLaren of COTA Reeves is just starting his lap. Meanwhile, Fino in the Red Bull is starting his lap as well. And all right, not sure what was actually happening there, because for a moment I thought that my controller wasn't letting me get past cars, which would have been very, very not only difficult, but obviously sad thing, at least that's all I'm going to say, as both the Sauber drivers are just on their way to start their flying laps at the moment. So at the moment we are looking at things as there has to be an RB over the line. It will be Raichu, or is it going to be Ian? It is going to be Ian, and he's going to push himself into P11 so far. So everyone's got a time once again. Only the two Haas drivers remain without a lap time, and Raichu would have invalidated once more. As we are looking at things so far, it has to be one Sauber, and it's going to be another Sauber at the moment. Okay, interesting. I hope my mic is not muted on the screen. It's not muted on the screen, but okay, I'm just going to test this. Usually, if I mute my mic, basically, usually if I mute my mic, my headphone slightly, lets me, Tyron says the power of the session, my headphone slightly lets me, not leave it, but basically there's a noise I hear, and then I get to know, basically, that if I'm talking or not. Actually, hello, okay, I think I need to check, maybe side tone is turned off in the application of the headset. No, it's not. It's not turned off at all. Okay, yeah, it's back on again, and okay, I hear the difference now. Definitely hear the difference, so not quite sure what exactly that would have been the case before. Meanwhile, Tyron's retired, only 13 seconds in this qualifying session remain. Whoever goes over the line will be their final time. Brando has just started their lap as well. Sorry about that, we were just into some experimenting there. Meanwhile, Raichu's taking the checkered flag as well. His teammate Ian is going to be over the line now, taking the checkered flag, but hasn't done much at all, as many drivers are going to be on their way now. So let's see, what about Michael? His teammate's taking the checkered flag. He is not taking the checkered flag, in fact, but he's not near the finishing line so far. Michael is improving by 3/10, but not enough what he needs over the finish line. 132.515, at least enough for him to not be challenged by anybody around. Meanwhile, the Red Bull of DJ is going to be there, but it's an invalidated lap from him already. Carday's looking for a lap. He's going to be the only two Haas teammates haven't got a lap time. At least he's got a lap time now over the line. Brando would have been the one. He's not actually there. He's far away from everybody around. What about Romero? He's without a front wing. A whole front wing is missing on his car. What about the McLaren of COTA Reeves? He's going to come into the pit lane as well. It might be Victor Dog in the LP, in the middle of Williams over the finish line, but he doesn't get it in lap time. He does get 34.4. Meanwhile, Fino does improve 32.5 as well, but just a few thousandths of a second behind Michael. 5.15 and 5.62, just not close enough. What about Dees? Can he challenge any of these guys around? He was improving enough in the middle sector. Can he do it in the final one as well? Yes, he can. At least goes ahead of Checo there, who already earlier pipped him. What about Midu, though? Can he pip both of them, his teammate and Dees, over the line? No, he can't. He's going to push Checo down. Checo has been pushed down by Archie there as well. So now every single one of these drivers has taken the checkered flag, apart from Romero, but he was without a whole front wing, so he's just going to try and take the checkered flag. But the session has ended, and it was going to be Tyron once more who takes pole and now sets his sight for a record-breaking 7th win of the season, which couldn't be his last weekend, but he's definitely going to try and do it and make it his tonight, make it all of it his for the night. So now qualifying's over. Takes the pole position by over 7/10 in the end after Michael found a lap. Tyron on pole, Michael and Evil in P2, Fino in P3 with Dees, Midu, Archie, Checo, Brando, Raichu, Devin complete the top 10, just outside COTA Reeves, VDR, Wing the Dog, Freddy, Romero, DJ, Cardes, and Zedos over the line without a time on board. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the end of qualifying session for you all. Oh, basically what's not quite sure why, but basically usually I hear oh, there we go. So for some reason I'm gonna restart my headset, not quite sure what is going on, but I'll just try and do that. Yeah, there we go. I identified the problem basically. Not sure what was wrong. But, oh, there we go. Now I hear the audio correct as well. Not quite sure what exactly was wrong, but basically it's going to be a formation lap. I'm hoping for it. Yes, it will be. So basically what happened was for some reason as I was saying there's something wrong with my headset. I basically had to restart it and put it again. Basically I changed the USB ports while my headset was on, so maybe something would have been the case. And yep. And now I hear the cars, now I hear the actual audio, so sometimes obviously it's a wireless headset, so I just turn it off and turn it back on again, so now I know that how much of a game audio obviously on the stream would be the case as well, so it was actually fine. Rather, so now let's focusing on the race. It could be a one-stopper, so 28 laps of racing. Medium hard could be the case, or the drivers could go on a set of medium combat. Remember the previous race, the Dutch GP, Tyro did many laps on a set of those hard compound tire, if I remember it correctly, so been a long time from that. Now looking at this one, every single driver is starting on a set of medium compound tires, if possible. Obviously with safety cars, at least one safety car has to be there, but if we are talking about even no safety cars, one stop possibly would be the way, but also depending on how much take care of the tires you do, how much of these tires you take care of, which obviously is going to be a big thing that you definitely need to, take care of these tires, which is going to be a thing, obviously. So we'll see how good these guys do. It's going to be a question of the same, but Tyron starts on pole with Brendo in P2, Fino in P3, your previous race winner, and the only driver apart from Tyron who's won this season. 6 wins for Tyron and 3 wins for Fino after the previous race is victory. And D's in P4 with Mido in P5, followed by Archie, Checo, Raichu, Brendo, and Devin inside the top 10. Outside COTA Reeves, WDR, Ian, that is, with the dog, Freddy, Romero, DJ, and the two Haas teammates, the Haas duo of Cardes and Zedos. In the end, Archie has been disqualified from the formation lap, but the lights are out. And actually the sun is out there as well, as we'll just do something. Obviously the leader is coming to an end of this one. Interesting thing to say the least, as the race is about to get started just about right now, as everyone's coming up to the grid, trying to go to their grid box. Is Tyron going to be able to perfect it? Yes, he does. Nearly a perfect stop in the gear box, in the gear stop as well, but we'll find out. And look at that. You'd have to say, I think slightly, if I'm not mistaken, from this angle at least, it looks like that he's parked up. Evil has parked their car slightly to the right to maybe try and attack that. I think rather I'd say Tyron has parked his car to the left. But we are about to find out. Everything is done now. Practice or preparation is going to be done. It's going to be 5 lights, and we're waiting to go when 5 lights are out, and we go racing here at the US Grand Prix. It's going to be a decent start from Tyron, but a very good start from Evil there. He's going to be there. Meanwhile, Fino at the back is going to be going for it as well. Around the outside, Tyron might lose a couple of positions out there. He's going to be through. Meanwhile, Evil's ghosted. Not quite sure what exactly happened, but Fino's going to be through, and Fino in the Red Bull takes the lead of the Grand Prix right away. away in the X section. Meanwhile, at the back, Dees has gained a position as well. Meanwhile, Archie is going after drivers. Meanwhile, the Mercedes of Checo loses out a couple of positions along with Ian as well, with COTA Reeves losing out to WDR there. Through goes Wig, and he goes straight into the back of Ian there. And that was a nice aggressive push, but unfortunately that gives himself the damage. Everyone there started on a set of mediums, but unfortunately he did give himself a slight front wing damage, but that has to be just about an M plate, so no need to worry about that at all. Meanwhile, COTA Reeves might try and get ahead of him as well. Meanwhile, at the front, Tyrone already overtakes Evil and gets past him in no time. But now Evil might try and come back at him. There might be an opportunity for him to get past. Fino leads the US Grand Prix already on lap 1 out of 28. And meanwhile, there's a yellow flag at the back, and it has to be a Haas driver, and it is Cardays. Couldn't get a lap time in qualifying. Meanwhile, Raichu's going to be through. He's going to be there. Is he going to be going for it on the inside lane? Yes, he does. And there's going to be damage straight sent it into the Red Bull of DJ. He could argue he closed the door, but I don't think there was any place. The way he was overtaking him to overtake, he's going to go super wide. I think side pod damage is going to be there on the Red Bull. So DJ, if you see him lose the rear end, if you see him here have a bit of spins, that could be the case. Meanwhile, Wig is past as CJ is already in the pit lane to possibly replace his front wing and get other things fixed as well. As on the inside line, Freddy's going to be there. There's going to be an option for them, both of them though. It's going to be Romero, or is it going to be Freddy? It's going to be Romero around the outside, gets the job done and does it in style. Meanwhile, Raichu along with DJ is into the pit lane as well. Meanwhile, at the front, Archie is only 4 tenths behind Dees at the moment. As it stands, almost every single driver is within 5 tenths of each other. Meanwhile, Checo is 3 tenths behind Brendo at this point. That is Zerky, obviously. And on the inside line, he sends it a late move, but he's going to go super wide, and that's easily going to allow Brendo to come back at him and gets through once more. He ran too deep, and that is done. And unfortunately, all the hard work that he did got undone. And now Finu, who took the lead by over 1.1 seconds, could well be taken from him in no time, as Tyron's already within 1 second, within 5 tenths of him now. So definitely that hard work could be undone. And I mean, of course, the speed, the pace that Tyron has overall got against everyone, I think that advantage is going to be there. In the previous race also, strategy was the one that won it for Finu there, because obviously that does play a big part in the end. So it was just strategy that eventually, I mean, he obviously tried, he did drive well, but strategy slightly, Tyron was outrun by Fino in that. Obviously a lot of safety cars, still 4 tenths between the two. Unless Tyron gets free air, or maybe Fino, you know, has others behind him, so not really trying not really getting troubled by anybody. I still don't think that's he'll be challenged, but let's see. I think it's about for how long can Finu keep him behind, for how long can he challenge, because possibly you would argue that, you know, easily that if Tyron's through, or if Tyron gets some free air, he'll easily be through and ahead of Fino in no time. And meanwhile, the retirement has came, and a safety car will come out as well, as in the S section, Romero has crashed out. I wonder, was he fighting anybody who's crashed out on his own, because one of the cars along with him might be around there, as his car is now completely wiped out. And we were talking about strategy, and the safety car comes out already on lap 3 out of 28. It didn't took too long, and the Victor Talk is out as well. So it's not 1 but 2 cars out of this Grand Prix on lap 3. So it's going to be interesting to see whether the soft tire runner for Freddy comes into the pit lane, or does he still stay out? Does he think his pit's out? And it was Sam then, which obviously waked the dog. He must have crashed, so he's out as well. So unfortunately, he says his wheel died out, so that would have been the reason. Obviously now we know why exactly that happened. Two of them maybe would have been fighting, and unfortunately his wheel died on him, and in the end he took out another driver with him as well. So obviously that was the case. So at the moment, not quite sure. I thought it would have been one of the Haas drivers, because he got a penalty right after the incident. So interesting to see. So now moving forward, it'll be time for us to see as Alright, so he says his wheel died and he did not have any control, and that is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, that he got out. Meanwhile, drive-through penalty for Cardez as he's speeding under the safety car, and a lot of drivers, a couple, not a lot, but a few of them into the pit lane. Then Brando in to pay his penalty, I guess. Not quite sure what happened there, but he goes on to a set of hards. So does Ian go on to a set of hards. I think during the previous race, I believe it was 20 laps or 24 or 25 laps on those hards. There's definitely a possibility. But I think the S section is possibly the place where the tires that you're eating. It's a sector where you know, possibly the most of your tire wear is going to be, because when you're going at full speed, you could sometimes push a you know, slightly lift off, but you can only do that if you are not fighting anybody. If you have anybody behind you, you're fighting anybody, you're really not going to be, you know, pulling out of it. So definitely that gives you a lot of not grip, but basically tire wear. Sorry, I was saying grip, not grip, but basically you know, somewhat of a problem. So 32 minutes in now into the session. One safety car has already came out, 4 laps in, obviously 80 minutes of qualifying, and then here and there. Safety car is out. Possible lap 6 restart. Maybe it goes in right now, but I doubt it will. So next time around will be. Meanwhile, there is positions being switching, and that is Cardez, even under the safety car. He's finding it difficult to keeping it on track, at least for the moment. We never know though, so let's see the detail. Penalties, drive through to Cardez, and 3 seconds to his teammate Zedos, and stops. So it is Brando, Ian, Freddy, Zedos, a difficult name to pronounce, and then Raichu along with DJ have pitted twice in this race, pitting earlier on and then pitting right now as well. So everyone from P11 to 16 have pitted, and everyone inside the top 10 have not pitted just yet. Meanwhile, somebody does come into the pit lane right now, I would have thought, and there's Cardez ignoring the yellow flag. He gets another time penalty. That's going to be 20 seconds. He gets one ignoring the yellow flag, and coming into the pit lane, he's going to be getting another penalty. And now, eventually, he's hit a drive-through penalty, which won't be paid as well. Because unless he's coming in to make a pit stop, the drive-through only gets paid when the game basically tells you to come in, because otherwise, I think it doesn't pay. And look at that. He'll be paying, possibly some of the penalties will be paid, but definitely not the drive-through that he would have hoped for. All right, then, okay, he did not have a stop, so possibly he would have came in for a stop right now, which makes sense now. I thought that he did pit earlier on, he didn't, so now everyone from Brando downwards has pitted, and everyone at the top has not just yet. So they're continuing on. Possibly the safety car going in right now would be 5 laps on these tires, so they're taking it as normal. I think 2 drivers out of this one, that is Wig and Romero out of this race so far. 18 starting, 16 remain so far in the first 5 laps of the Grand Prix. All 15 are piled up, and together it is it's almost a Red Bull sandwich apart from Cardez. Everybody's between the 2 Red Bulls of DJ and Fino. It's almost like Checo and Max, not the Checo that we have here, Sergio Perez, that it was you know, at Red Bull. The case was sometimes in Formula 1 the whole of 2024, pretty much. Not the whole of 2024, obviously he had good performances, but he had a pretty hard year, especially in 2024. 22 and 23 were decent, but 2024 was not so good from him. And 21, you'd think that he cost Red Bull the Constructors' Championship as well. Obviously, that's not our topic really to talk for tonight, so we'd rather not focus on that, but rather focus on what we have to focus on, and that is Finu leads ahead of Tyron, ahead of Brando, ahead of Dees, slightly away from these guys, but we'll be looking for it. And now it's going to be time, ladies and gentlemen, for Finu to go for it. He hasn't went for it straight away. Any time now on the exit of the final corner will be time for him to go for it. Does he go it now? Yes, he does. He went for it. Has Tyron caught him though? Not yet though. Has he been caught by Evil? No, he hasn't been as well. What about Dees? It's an interesting start for everyone on our rounds, and into turn 1 there might be an opportunity for Tyron. But no, it is not an opportunity for him at all. And he's through. Fino has got a good start. He's got a pretty decent restart so far, but has he though? Because now he's going to be in big pressure, and an opportunity for Tyrone to get past is going to be on the way. Will he be making it count? That's the question to ask. That's a question Tyrone will be answering with his driving. We're yet to get the answer to that. Cardes gets another 3-second time penalty so far at the moment, as we need to get this detail out of the way. It's going to be an interesting thing to say the least. There is somewhat spinning on my screen, so I hope the stream is okay. It is okay, and all is fine. Meanwhile at the back, Dees and Archie are going for it. There's fighting, and Dees nearly just keeps his position so far. For a moment you would have thought he's being challenged, but in the end he is not. Meanwhile, DJ is going to try and get past the house of Zedos. Oh, he's almost going to make contact there. He tried to get past, he couldn't get past, almost hit him there for a moment you'd have thought. And now he's getting him past. Maybe we didn't saw him there. That would have been the reason. Meanwhile, Brando has just made the pass on Raichu has made the pass on Brando, and now again you would have thought DJ's going to get past. He doesn't get past, and now he's going to run very wide, and that's going to allow DJ to get past, and he's through and ahead of Zedos. Or is he? Because Zedos is going to try and come back at him in no time. He's not going to waste any opportunity. Meanwhile, the two RB teammates switch positions out there as Raichu gets past Ian, and now the challenge and the opportunity is for Raichu to get past, and he gets a penalty there. He gets a penalty, but I think it's now time for Raichu to try and attack Brando at front, because he's going to be wanting to do that. At least his teammate has let him get past him, so definitely he would want for him to attack at the front. Obviously, I think obviously Raichu would have done it rather on merit, rather than he would have let him get past, but definitely now it's going to be an option. I think now the opportunity is already paying the cards so far. The gap between these two is ever closer as it gets. Meanwhile, Daze and Archie are very close between each other as well, so let's get past and let's get there. Meanwhile, this is interesting then. Me Do along with Devin, 1.3 to be do slightly away, but Dees along with Brendo's not far away as well. That is interesting then. 5-10s between Brendo and Dees, to 8-10s between Dees and Archie at the moment. 3-10s between Me Do and Archie as it stands. Meanwhile, Dees is past Evil. Is he going to be getting past him though? Does he run wide? An option for him to come back? No, it doesn't. But now on the inside line, he'll have a chance to go back, and they almost make contact. Nearly avoid making contact with each other. Brilliant racing between the two on the inside line for the Ferrari once more, and the Aston Martin's going to come back, and absolutely brilliant space given by the Sauber, but he's going to be through and ahead of the Aston Martin once more. The Ferrari chills out at the front. Meanwhile, at the back, these two fight it out. They're going to be wheel to wheel, and he touches this time. Unfortunately, the sportsman-like that was going on between the two. Round the outside goes Evil. Slightly touches the front wheel of Archie, and that Aston Martin maybe slightly loses the car, does Archie, but gets the control back. And everything is back in running and where it should be. So no problem and no issues for Archie at the front as he gets his car back. He does lose the position to Me Do though. Meanwhile at the front, Tyrone has still kept his lead, still kept his cool, and keeps the lead of the race. 7 laps on these medium compound tyres for everyone. So brilliant job done from him so far, but for how long is that going to be the case? We are about to find out, because these two, the gap keeps increasing, it keeps lowering, and as it stands already, Fino gets to the inside line to try and defend. The battery on both the cars is pretty solid, 40% on Fino and over 70% on Tyrone. He's not using much as well, that is interesting. Obviously he's harvesting, Tyrone's harvesting, okay, Fino's harvesting, Tyrone's also are harvesting as now Midu gets past the Sauber as well. Double trouble for Michael as it stands. He did got ahead of the Aston Martin earlier on, but this time around the Mercedes challenges him out there as well. As the gap now at the top is interesting. That Fino has done a brilliant job to stay ahead of the challenge of Tyrone for the tie-in so far for a couple of laps. Meanwhile, these two are going at it, and these two are after each other. Meanwhile, COTA Reaps chills in P9. It's going to be Brando and Raichu going after each other, and it has to be Raichu now with the help of that DRS, but the DRS will be active on the Sauber as well. Both of them will get the rear wing open. Is it going to be Raichu to get closer to him, or is it going to be Brando now getting closer to the McLaren? Is he going to go for it on the inside line? Yes, he does, towards turn 1, sends it in there. A lot of space to go, braking and easy, and he gets the job done. Nice and easy from Brando there. But the McLaren driver will have a chance. The McLaren will have another chance to try and come back at him. Will he be able to do that, though? That is a question that we will need an answer to, and I think he'll rather give an answer to us in no time as DJ gets a penalty. A couple of drivers have penalties. Brando is one of them, in fact. But Scott Reeves isn't able to get closer or get past him. And look at that. Even if we to the leader, from the leader to the top 10, everyone's within 10 seconds of each other. 11 seconds, maximum 12 seconds would be 12 as well. So that is brilliant. Everyone's within half a second. Everyone's within few seconds of each other. Meanwhile, Checo is going to be having trying to get past from Devin. He doesn't get past Devin. Devin was on the inside line, so I wonder if Devin got past him. Meanwhile, now Raichu has gotten past COTA Reeves as well. Going to get past Brando. COTA Reeves going to hand it in there on the inside line. He's going to be through, but inside it's going to go to the RB now. Oh, that was close. He almost went into the back of him. He might have an opportunity to have him once again on the inside line. He's going to send it there. They're going to be will to will between the two. Do they keep it clean? Do they keep it safe between the two so far? Yes, they have around the outside. There might be an opportunity for COTA Reeves to go through. No, he doesn't get through as Raichu's past and ahead of him. Meanwhile, the other RB, the sugar-free Red Bull of Ian, is out there, and he's not doing much so far as it stands. As didn't do much, but maybe. And now the opportunity is going to be his, as one RB got past him earlier. The other one's going to try and get past him around once more, but he isn't able to do that. He doesn't quite do that at all. 10 laps in, and these racing drivers have given us a brilliant opportunity. And look at that. That's the reason, you know, usually tires don't last much. They last maximum probably like 15 laps. So 15 laps is a lot, actually. On the races where it's a two-stop strategy, you probably get some racing, but then probably for the first half of the race, and then tires run out for drivers. And this one, even the medium tires for the first 10 laps have brilliantly stuck to each other, and that solely has to be the reason that it has been nice and easy for everyone, and we've been able to race. They've been able to race each other, and we've got the you know, some good action, because otherwise you would have thought, you know, there won't be much action, and then drivers would pit. Then obviously that stabilizes the things, that kind of, you know, slows down things, and doesn't make it easy for drivers to get closer to each other, and forms a lot of gaps. And on the inside line, Brenda's going to send it in there. That was the dive of the century, but that doesn't go successful at all. And to ruin the party for him, the driver he was trying to overtake, nothing happens to him. He continues on, and Brando is spun round, tries to come back on track, now in P11. And I wonder if he gets a penalty as well, does Brando. I doubt he gets one, though, because he already has 3 seconds, and those are alright. He does get one, but that is because of not because of penalties, obviously, not because of collision, but because of because of. Is he on the medium tire, or is he on the hard tire? That is interesting. That's a hard tire. So possibly now into the pit lane, and now try and go to the end of the race. All right, you would have thought that he's slightly gonna do more laps on these hards, but he will not be doing that. Meanwhile, DJ right behind on Brown, not on new tires, but definitely warmed up tires versus old cold tires. It's going to be an opportunity for him to slightly get past D's there, but he doesn't get past him at all. Yeah, basically the track limit, it was a penalty of track limits for the driver we were talking about earlier. So 8 drivers out of the 16 have a penalty at the moment, and 8 do not have a penalty to themselves. As at the front, these two are still going strong. These two are still going as they are, Fino and Tyron. Brilliantly done from Fino, you have to say. I mean, maybe Tyron could be playing the patience game. Maybe he's like, okay, I'm going to stay behind him in the DRS and only overtake when it's needed. But I think at least for the moment, he's doing a pretty solid job. And now it's only time who pits earlier or who pits when around, and it is going to be Fino who pits before and definitely goes for the undercut. And now it's going to be pretty. Yeah, it's going to be pretty solid now in terms of, you know, to see who gets the better exit, who gets the strategy as well, because definitely the undercut is going to work out slightly, or is it going to be the overcut working out for Tyrone out there? So that's interesting. It'll be definitely interesting to see, and a thing for drivers to focus, a thing for eventually us to have a look at as well. So it's obviously going to be an important. Many drivers have now pitted. D's pitted earlier on. He just comes out, and Midu just comes out right behind him. So undercut might have worked out there as D's comes out ahead, and Haas drivers Zedos has retired in the pit lane. So we lose out our third driver of the evening. So look at the pit stops. Then everybody has pitted. Meanwhile, third stop for Raichu, second for Freddy, and 3 for DJ as well. That is interesting, which obviously I believe he highlighted earlier on. But now Fino has pitted along with Dees, Midu, Devin. These three would have been all together, so undercut for Dees would have worked out. And now the question is, where does Tyrone pit? When does Tyrone pit? And these two are going to be there fighting still. Brenda sends it on the inside line. Again makes contact with Ian, and rather aggressive driving from the team in Vianza. From the team from Vianza, not right in, well, they are in Vianza, but basically sugar-free Red Bull. Let's put it that way, because it's been kind of a inside joke for the league, is calling the RB team sugar-free Red Bull, rather, which obviously it's not a meme. I think somebody could call it. And there we go. And Tyrone still stays out. He didn't came in. Tyrone doesn't come in, so he wants to continue on long and possibly come in the second stint. Possibly have his chance in the final stint of the grid. So that is going to be interesting, as Evil is in, which is Michael. Then Archie is in along with Checo, VDR, everyone. And Dees is out now with Tyrone out of the way. Okay, Dees, actually Brenda would get out of the way. He then hasn't pitted on a set of hearts. I think he might have pitted, actually. Yes, he has pitted eventually then, but how many laps? Okay, he's done 9 laps, so he pitted during the safety car, so he's possibly going to continue on later on, continue as much as he can, and then focus on it later on. So 19 to 20 seconds almost between eventually Fino and Tyrone. It'll be interesting to see, and I think rather Tyrone wouldn't want to pit right now. He's still on the medium tire. I think best opportunity for him would be like, okay, my medium tires feel pretty good right now, so I'm gonna possibly do a few extra laps, maybe not many, but just a few extra laps on it, and then continue on. So it'll be interesting to see. Remember, if he wins, it'll be a record-breaking 7th win of the season. Nobody before has ever done it in New Age Championship. He comfortably leads the driver's title as well, with only a couple of races to go. He might clinch the title a race or two early moving forward, but Tyrone, comes to an end. His stint comes to an end as well. He's going to be pitting about right now, and Finu is into the final sector, just making his way around the right-hander hairpin. It's a long corner, more than a hairpin, it's rather a big corner. Meanwhile, Brando is continuing on out there as well. Tyrone, tires are on, old tires off, new tires on. They're going to be on it. They're making their way around the straight. Is Tyrone going to be able to come out ahead of him? Yes, he will be. And oh no, he will not be actually. He's just around the pit exit. It's going to be very close between the two. Just nearly. Finu comes out ahead of him, and he almost made that overcut work. Had Brando made Finu fight for it, he might have caught up, but I think actually Finu did a nice little thing that he at least stayed behind him. But now they both need to get past Brando very soon, because otherwise it could be a problematic one. Meanwhile, these two have been fighting each other race long, Connor Reeves and Widiade, along with Checo and Devin, I was about to say, but no, they are not at all, as at the moment as it stands. These two are going to be going at it. Connor Reeves and WTR once more would have been an opportunity. Let's get past, get back to the front, and Fino is getting past Brando already, and he's past him. And is it going to be Tyrone getting past him as well? Yes, he will be. It's Tyrone and Fino, both of them are 1-2 once more. The 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championship, and the 1 and 2 in this race. The order is the other way around, but They're all taking it through, 14 laps in, and we're going to be halfway through at the end of this race. Meanwhile, Midu and Archie are fighting each other then. Oh, sorry, no, in fact, Archie and Brendo, but Michael are fighting each other. Archie's going to be on the inside line once more. One more time, these drivers, these two find each other and have a slight little problem with one another. And now is going to be the time. Do we see Tyrone to go for it? Do we see him use his two-lap tire advantage against Fino? Is he going to do it right now, or is he going to be doing it later? It's only a time question. It's only a question. Time will tell. I was about to say it's only a time question will tell. It's about. I remember one from Esteban Ocon back in 2018, I believe it was, when he used to drive for Force India. That was the job to the good guys. In an interview, he said, so I almost did that. So. Look at that, then we're halfway through this race. It has been a very good fighting race. At least drivers have been very closer to one another so far. It'll be interesting to see that how many laps do these drivers do on these hards though. Do they go to the end, or do they not go to the end, pit earlier? I mean 12 laps, 13 laps on the mediums. Only a few laps extra, no maximum they'd have to do probably like 15 laps, 16 laps on these hards, which at least Tyrone can do, but can Fino do it? Can Tyrone go for a move around here on the inside line? Is he close enough to be going for it? Yes, he does send the dive in, and he's spun round. He's locked the rear, and Tyrone has lost the car. He's going to be in big pressure as he's now lost the position to Brando as well. And this has to be probably the biggest mistake I have seen Tyrone make, apart from his DNF. At the reverse.gp, which we had a couple of rounds ago, which it was a reverse race on the circuit. He crashed into the wall, and this was a big one. This was something that happens on F1 24, so interesting to see that happen on F1 25 as well. Meanwhile, this little battle is now going on as well, so let's focus on these two. These two have been giving each other a decent hard time, right? Chu and COTA. Earlier it was VTR, I believe. And interesting now as Tyrone is already past Brando now, and in no time he overtakes. Obviously Brando on older tyres, nearly 14 lap old, 12 laps old tyres actually, so that is definitely always going to be the case no matter how much of a pace he has. But if that much of a tyre advantage is on the way, it was going to be the case of him out there. So now about 12 laps remain to the end of this race. It's going to be an interesting one. And so far, I think 3.1 seconds between Tyrone and Fino, and Archie's out of the race. Archie out of the race, same place where other drivers crashed around the S section out there. So I wonder if there is anybody around with him or something happened to his car. I'm trying to find his car where exactly that is, and there it is. He might have just lost it. Possibly there's nobody else, so definitely I think he might have just lost it on his own, because this S section is very difficult. And now, if you are Brando, you'd be laughing under that helmet, because he's now got a proper opportunity to go for a set of medium compound tyres and attack when the safety car comes in. That is an ideal situation for Brando. It'll be interesting to see who comes in and who stays out just about now, but I think Fino wouldn't like that, because he already had a gap of over 3 seconds, and all of that will be now gone. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the first place. Does he go for a new set of tyres, or does he stay out and keep track position to himself? Possibly if he doesn't pit, he doesn't pit. So maybe Tyrone will come in the pits. No, he doesn't as well. So sure, he was Brando will. Maybe a couple of drivers who have older tyres will, but Dees is possibly the top two don't pit. Everybody else does pit. Dees, Midu, and both of them, at least, I mean Tyrone and Fino, both know that they can finish the race on these tyres. So it'll be interesting to see. I think if he was to pit, Fino would have been the time for him right now, but I think he wouldn't. He would have rather wanted to keep track position to himself, because 2 wins in a row for somebody else, for a driver other than Tyrone, would possibly happen for the first time this season as well. So that's going to be a new, not a new record, but basically a new statement, at least, from Fino to say that I can win, Tyrone can, but I'm catching up, so you better take care. You could be fast in qualifying, but in the race I'm going to come after you. So that's an interesting point for sure. So 17 laps in out of 28. Twice the safety car has came out, considering 14 drivers in this race, with 2, 1 retiring in the pits and the 3 crashing out on track. 14 now remain with 8 drivers with time penalties, with 8 without one. Drive through to DJ. I wonder when did he get that. Unfortunately, if he did get it right now, I didn't caught up with that, but 29 seconds to Cardez. That's a pile of penalties then, along with the right two as well. He's 19 seconds, so many penalties. 3 seconds along with 12 to Brando as well, so a lot of penalties out and about for everyone. So 3 drivers in there on newer set of tires, 6 in fact. Soft tires for VDR and DJ, and then brand new mediums for Freddy, along with brand new mediums for Brando, Days and Midu. So that's going to be interesting. Definitely won't be surprised if these guys come in the fight for the podium, if these guys come for any of the fights at the front nearing the end of the race, when the tires of those who haven't pitted versus those who have pitted and slightly have a bit of a tire advantage. Only time will tell, but definitely that could be the case. So let's just give it a bit of a rest. I think the safety car should be coming in this lap, maybe, but don't just know yet. I think a lap 19 restart could be on our way, or would be a lap 20 restart. I think a lap 19 restart will be a best possible bet, in my opinion, and we'll pick it up right when we're about to get the restart. We haven't gotten the indication just yet. I mean, if we are to definitely get the safety car in this lap, we should be getting it by now. Otherwise, another lap, the safety car will stay out. So that is interesting. So the safety car is going to stay out another lap, which is interesting to see. So lap 20 restart. So that's going to be interesting, because now, looking at the tire situation, the strategy situation, those on the softs even could have an opportunity. Definitely those on the mediums will have, be it D's, Midu, or Brando. Brando has penalties, but the hard tires are going to run out. The hard tires will at least give you the grip. The medium tire will. Sure, these guys are doing a few laps under the safety car, but these are under the safety car, not full push. So they will definitely not lose as much tire wear as they will lose in normal circumstances. Forget about Fino and Tyron fighting for the lead. We might even have Brando or D's. That is interestingly shaping the race out. With the obviously it'll be 9 laps then, so 9 laps towards the end would be nothing short of a sprint, and definitely that is going to be an opportunity. Are we about to get a 3rd winner of the season? What couldn't happen in the first 9 rounds, does it happen in the 10th one? And there we go. The time is yours, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, the hard time. I mean, soft tires only till VTR is down in P11, so I don't think he's going to be in the top 5, but at least in the positions he's in, we'll have an opportunity to fight for it at all. We'll have the tire banner by side on, because so that we know everything of it around, as now the safety car is going to be in, and for the second time, Fino's got an opportunity. Fino's rather got a task on his hand, rather the ones behind, the likes of Tyrone, Michael, Devin and Brando, along with Days. Not to forget Mido and Checo have got an opportunity to get past him, but they've got an opportunity to get past one another. He's went for it. Tyrone's went for it already. This is going to be interesting to see, because if you don't get the final corner nice and easy, you might have an opportunity. Oh, he goes slightly wide. Slightly, Tyrone has a slide, and that might have just saved Fino, because you would have thought that Tyrone's going to be coming after him. Meanwhile, Brendo's let it already around the outside. Now Brendo's got a medium compound tires. He's going to send it around the outside. Does he get the move done though? They're going to make contact. No! Devin's not backing out at all. He's now going to be there around the outside and keep it in there. And now another Ferrari. And the Ferrari behind the D is going to be coming up as well. But he's going to be through, just about going to be through. Will be Brendo, and so will be Dees. They both get past Devin as Midu right around waits on the wings. And there's no yellow flag. It says caution sector 2, but there is no yellow flag. That happens usually after a safety car, so that is exactly why it's happening at the moment. So Checo now in P8 and P7 for Checo and me do 7 to 8 tenths of one another. What about Raichu as it stands? Meanwhile, VTR is already going to be on his way to get past COTA Reeves, and is going to be past COTA Reeves. There's still going to be will to will on the main straight. They're going to beat through, and nobody is head or behind yet. Who's going to be late on the brakes though? Is it going to be RB, or is it going to be the McLaren driver? He sends it in there, just nearly avoids making contact, and through and ahead of the RB is Ian. Is going to be past COTA Reeves, and now I think his personally I think his target should be his teammate now, Raichu, who has been staying ahead of him overall, but right now when the tyres are new, the grip levels at the highest for the other RB, he'll be looking to get past him. He'll be looking to get past him in no time, as Brendo there, not sure what was he doing, but rather sent it on the Mercedes and nearly loses out. Meanwhile, Dees is going for it against Brendo. Michael there, he's going to send it on the inside line, and it's going to be past the evil in that Michael in that other Sauber, and that overtake has been done as Dees is now into the podium places in P3, but definitely it's going to be a big fight. This has to be a big fight. Meanwhile at the back, now the two Saubers, Mercedes and a Ferrari, all to fight for P3. Meanwhile at the top, 1.7 seconds as well. I think these drivers could seriously challenge for the lead as well. 1.7 seconds, one mistake for anybody from between the two at the top, or even if they lose slight bit of time fighting each other, it would be an interesting bit, because 1.4 seconds now, look at that. One's behind, gaining time. Dees is gaining time on them, and that would be a thing to say. Meanwhile, Tyrone, for a moment you've thought he's going to go for it, almost goes into the back of the Red Bull there. He slightly runs wide, and right behind is Dees there. The gap, it's not that much, but definitely it'll be interesting to see so many overtakes, so many opportunities out there. Meanwhile, BDR is through as well. He's going to be ahead of Checo on old hard tyres. 8 laps, obviously not old enough, but obviously as compared to 4-lap newer soft compound tyres, those soft tyres aren't going to be lasting much more, but at least he'll have to finish this race on them now. I think he'll have to continue on and really do all he can as it stands, that's for sure, on these set of tyres. So he'll have to be managing on that. Meanwhile, there's going to be an opportunity for the Mercedes to get past. He is going to be, in fact, it's not going to be an opportunity for him, rather he's ahead of him, but he's just trying to defend. Meanwhile, one man, VDR at the front, he's going to try and get past him. Does he get past him? Yes, he does. Where Ian there is already making the progress, and into P7 he is. Oh, he's passed everybody. He's passed everyone on the older tyres now. Everyone in between is on newer tyres, apart from Michael, who's on new old 9-lap old hards, and the top two are on 8 and 10 laps each on these hard compound tyres, as they're all going for it. These two again, 4 tenths between the two. I mean, Tyrone's being very careful, so don't be surprised if he does gets past him though, because if he does get past him towards the very end, it would be an opportunity. He's already gets past him. In fact, we don't need to worry about or wait about the end of this race, as Tyron's going to be through in ahead of Fino in no time already. But Fino's going to come back at him. They're both going to be side by side once more. Is he going to be the driver on the inside to get through, or is he going to be the one on the outside to get through? Inside line goes to Fino this time. And he's going to be getting past and getting it back and up ahead of him once more. And after a long while, I don't remember a battle like this, such one like this for this lead that has went on for race long. We've seen these guys closer, stay within each other, within the range from a long time. So definitely that's interesting. And now let's not forget, Dees has came back as well. Dees is now going to be there. It's a three-way fight for the win. Whoever takes it, this has to be the race. Oh, that's going to be Tyron. Tyron locks up, goes deep, and through goes Dees into P2. And what a move that is. He didn't need to do anything, rather just stay behind and threw it to P2. And what an overtake that was, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't get better than this. Hope you all are watching, really enjoying all of this so far, because this is absolutely brilliant, ladies and gentlemen. As an overtake from Tyron, from Dees is done. Obviously, Tyron will try and come back. Tyron will come back, but on the other end, Dees on newer medium compound tires will be putting that pressure on now. Fino as well. As I said, a three-way fight for the win. Hasn't happened all season long. It is on, and it might be an opportunity for Dees to get past. At least not around right now, but it could be anybody's game. Is it going to be Midu's game right now for fourth place? Not just yet. But it is brilliant now. Devin and WDR are going for it, as Ian's going to be through on the inside line. Sorry about this one. This is a nice little battle as well. It's a brilliant battle, at least. For sure, but at the front, there is much more important lead to focus, as Brando is out of this one. Brando is out of this one. Has he crashed down? Where has he crashed? Where has he crashed there, ladies and gentlemen? That is absolute. Oh no, he's returned out on track. Then he's not crashed. Not sure what has happened, but he's on track and he's running. So not quite sure what has exactly happened. And now again, Tyron's going to be back. Tyron is going to try and get back on himself to try and overtake. So now another driver out of this one. Only 13 will remain. 5 drivers out of this race so far, and then lap 24 out of 28 now. And I think Tyron will be setting his sights, will be looking for an opportunity to get past for sure. Looking for an opportunity now. I think Dee's already losing out time to Fino, and maybe his medium tires are just going to be lasting about lap 7, maximum lap 10 laps. Obviously, he's going to be able to finish the race. It won't be like he was not able to finish, but just comparing, you know, the other two at the front, possibly overall better drivers, you know, overall with much better pace. It's going to be an opportunity. And now, with obviously Brando out of this one, it has been an opportunity. It has been a position open for these guys to fight for, and it's an absolutely epic battle to look for. He's going to go for it on the inside line. He's going to be able to make the move stick. Not just yet so far, as Devon's going to come back at him around the outside, gets the move done, and through ahead is Devon once more. These two are brilliantly fighting each other. Meanwhile, Midu is going to be on the way to try and fight Evil out there right now. For how long is he going to be able to do that? That is a question to be asked for sure, but it's definitely going to be now time now for anybody who has to go for moves, anybody who needs to go for moves for this race to shape up their race. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant, because remember, either Tyron has not finished the races or he's finished second. That was only in the previous race where he finished second to Fino on track. It was in the end, Fino did get the victory, but at the front he did not get, and his Tyron, his record of 7 wins in a season does get delayed, and it's getting delayed even further by the looks of it, at least by now, as Fino's a second behind D's, sorry, yes, Fino's a second ahead of D's now, as D's is gonna, sorry, it's Midu who's gonna be going for it on the inside line, through and ahead of Michael, but who's gonna be coming out back on top, as DRS is gonna be very crucial on this straight. Who gets it there though? D's, sorry, Evil Mike does get it, or no, in fact, it's gonna be the Mercedes who gets it. He's gonna be passed through and getting past the Sauber, and no issues at all. Does get past him nice and easy and gets the job done. Brilliantly done from Evil, from Midu there. So sorry, I mean, I talk so fast that I completely miss out on the name of drivers. Obviously not of those who I'm not calling one name, but obviously Michael, let's say, is his real name, right? And then Evil is his game name, and just up until that, I think Tyron's still within 3 seconds of D's. Might be an opportunity for him to get past just about right now. There'll be an opportunity for him to get past now on lap 26 out of 28 around the outside. He's going to be going for it, and really D's is going to try and give him a hard chance as well. And ladies and gentlemen, another little slide from Tyron. This has to be the mistakiest race I've seen from Tyron this season for sure. Definitely that pressure is on. The pressure is on Tyron there, because he's made not once but a couple of mistakes throughout, which he was literally, he was smooth as he gets for the first nine rounds. These aren't big mistakes, but still slight little of these, which I don't remember really for him to be making those mistakes at all. Definitely that then explains, I think he's not slightly having it easy at all tonight. He will get past eventually D's, and he is going to be getting past D's already. He's going to switch to the inside line even way before the braking zone. He doesn't need to worry about that at all. He's going to be through, and an overtake has been done from Tyron back into P2. Over 3.2 seconds between Evil to D, so not a lot is between these guys, interestingly. So now Fino leads ahead of Tyron, 2.2 seconds the gap between the two, so Tyron needs all he can to do to take those 2 seconds out of him in the remaining 2 laps at the end of this one. So 2 laps to the end, 27 and 28. D's in P3, return to the podium would be an interesting one for him, as Brendo in P4, followed by Midu in P5 with, 1 second between the two, as Devon slightly has a little bit of a snap of oversteer there, as Raichu in P7, P8 for Ian WDR, so 7 and 8, P7 and 8 for RB, as working like sugar-free Red Bull, as Freddy in P9, 1.1 seconds to COTA Reach in P10, the final driver in the points per scoring positions. P11 for Checo, P12 for DJ, and P12, P13 for Cardares. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen, a penalty comes Tyron's way this time, and now not only his win, but his podium will be in, his P2 will be in trouble, because D's and Fino do not have penalties to themselves. Tyron has got one for track limits, so even if he overtakes Fino at this point, he will need to be he'll need to gain over 3 seconds, on Fino to take that victory. So definitely we might be switching to Fino dominance now after previous races win. Obviously this is not dominance as much as Tyron used to dominate races by many seconds, but still I think even a driver to come back, I mean, he kept improving, he kept getting better and better, and on a day like this, even on the previous race, it was strategy overall, but he definitely outrun him out there on track as well. And now Fino once again, I think Tyron with the penalty was just cherry on top for Fino. He leads the Grand Prix going into the final lap of this race. Even if he gets past him, 3 seconds penalty is a big one. They're 3.8 seconds, and these possibly won't be challenging for second place, but the win will be taken for him. So penalties, 3 seconds to 5 drivers, in fact. Freddy, COTA Reach, Checo, Evil, and Tyron. 25 seconds to Raichu, along with 29 seconds to Cardes, and 18 to DJ. Then 6 seconds to the 2 of them, of VTR and Devon. So far in this race, most of the drivers working out a one-stop strategy. Actually, only 5 of them working out that strategy. COTA Reeves, Devon, and many other. Meanwhile, there's a Red Bull coming around the final corner, but that is not really Tyrone. Oh, sorry, it's not Fino, it is Tyrone. And now is Tyrone going to be getting past Fino? That is a question to ask. I mean, if he has to do it, it has to be this time around. It's going to be the only opportunity for him to do it, but no, he doesn't quite do it this time around. And now I think it might be over. He'll be running out of time, and he knows even if he does get past, there's no point for him to do that. Rather, if he makes a mistake, it's going to allow D's to get closer. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag at the back, but our leaders are approaching the end of this race, so unfortunately we can't go there. But it's going to be Tyrot, not Tyrone, but it's going to be Finu, who's going to win 2 races in 2 races, and is going to win the US Grand Prix ahead of everyone and takes victory. With Tyrone, who finishes in P2 just at the end. Dees returns to the podium in P3 as well. Midu gets P4 after Evil's penalty. Devin in P6. Let's see, where does Raichu finish? He has a lot of penalties. Devin in P6 in the end gets that. What about Raichu, who has match penalties, comes in P7, or already going to be jumped by his teammate COTA and Freddy is going to get P4. COTA P8, VTR in P9. Raichu's retired. Raichu has retired out of the race. Not sure how that happened. I'm sure he did take the checkered flag, so that is interesting to say the least, as DJ is going to be the only driver who hasn't taken the checkered flag. Nearly loses it as well. But that's going to be the end, ladies and gentlemen. One Red Bull finishes at the bottom, the other's going to be at the front, and Fino makes it 2-2 and takes his 4th victory of the season. Most wins by anyone other than Tyrone. I mean, these 2 drivers have only been actually the ones who have won the races, so that is interesting. And look at that celebration. Tyrone in the back is clapping. Definitely he knows he's found a worthy opponent to fight for. So race winner Fino, fastest lap goes to Tyrone. Driver of the day to WTR, and most overtakes for him as well. He definitely did overtake a lot. Unfortunately, there was a lot of battles going on, so unfortunately couldn't add him. We couldn't witness much of that, but this is then, ladies and gentlemen, almost the whole grid had penalties. So Fino wins ahead of Tyrone in P2 with Dees in P3, followed by Midu in P4, then Evil completing out the top 5. Just outside were Devin, Freddy, COTA, WDR, and Checo in P10. In the end, P11 for DJ, P11 for DJ, Raichu, P12 for him, followed by Cardes and Brendo in the end, DNF as well. So 13 drivers finished. Cardes the last one, then Brendo, RG, Zedos, Victor Dog, Romero, all out of this one. Unfortunately, unable to finish this one out there. So that was, ladies and gentlemen, round 10 at the US Grand Prix. All of you watching, hope you all really enjoyed all the action brought to you by New Age Championship and myself, Zabi, on the commentary mic. So I hope you all really watching enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't done already to the New Age Championship Twitch, to my Twitch, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So this was it then, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all watching really enjoyed it from all of us here at New Age Championship. Myself, Zabe,